All right, we are officially live. So while we wait for people to join up, I'm gonna go ahead and get this chat box going. And hey, everybody, we're still getting ourselves put together.
We're professional. Yeah.
Maximum professionality. That's totally a word. I made it up right now.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm about to turn 25. What is life?
I don't know. Pain and a quarter of each century.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ancient.
It is. It's slowly coming down.
All right. Let's get this chat box. There we go.
He'll be joining shortly. Doombringer's finishing something up.
Yeah, he's in another meeting. Important business desk meeting. It's probably not a business desk meeting at all. It's probably not anything of importance, actually. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
He'll be here shortly. Thank you guys for joining. We'll be here. Like I said, Ryan should be here. And wait about 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to get started as well. So we'll start promptly around 7:35.
Okay.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you too, Wolf King. We hope that you guys are excited for all the beautiful gifts.
Mm.
Have you guys done your Christmas shopping? Keith, have you done your Christmas shopping?
Not at all. I am still behind.
I did half last week, and I'm going to do the rest of the half tomorrow. So I'll be done tomorrow. Praise, scorn, and jealousy. Is Nate still salty about the Raging Stride? Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, do what?
How come you guys don't upload the podcast as it is after it's over? We've been uploading them, haven't we? Straight up after they've been.
I think so. Oh, I think he takes them down for like an hour to make a thumbnail. Oh, okay, no, they go up straight up. That's okay.
Yeah.
Nate, how's your so for those of you watching at home, Nate's been trying to platinum the Ezio collection, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That's fun. I platinum 2, for what that's worth. Me and the other 8% of players.
Have fun with that. I think that Revelations is going to be the hardest platinum of the 3.
No, I think Brotherhood is.
Is it?
I think, yeah. I think Revelation probably has a lower earn rate because people are probably doing it like me, like get the 2-1, then Brotherhood, then Revelations. But I think Brotherhood will be the hardest.
That makes sense. Brotherhood should be. I mean, Brotherhood's the best of the 3. I mean, 2's good, but
I hate the story of Brotherhood. The story.
I mean, it's kind of Assassin's Creed 2 Part 2, actually, is what Brotherhood basically is.
I just kind of, by sequence, there are only 9 sequences where, like, 2 had 14 or 15, so it's really short just in terms of that. But by the end of sequence 4, I had done, like, everything. Like, all the Romulus armor I had gotten, I had owned all. Like, I was doing everything except the story because it was boring.
That's good. All right, so it is 7:36. We are about to get started, so let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Damage Check episode 67, Damage Check Live. I am joined with the Doombringer Griffin, who will be joining in shortly. He is currently busy in the filming room, getting done with a meeting. He will join us shortly after that. But to keep us together before then, I've got the Irish god Keith in Places Unknown. Keith, say hi to everybody.
Mm-hmm. How's it going?
And then we've got the good old Phantom Nate, not buying his Shadow support yet because it is ridiculously expensive, but we'll get there.
I'm so excited.
And, of course, I'm the captain. So we want to thank you guys. We hope that you guys are having a good December so far. Doing weekly damage check lives. Hopefully we don't break that before it's too late. So it actually stays consistent. But as always, what we start off with in damage check is the amazing and awesome and fun spoiler reel. So time to get started with these spoilers. And I'm actually going to start with the one that we covered at the end of damage check last time. I'm just going to go into it because I feel like, one, it's really good, and two, we didn't get the name, and I wanted to make sure we have the translation right now that it's been that far. So this is Handbell Purification Maiden Uka. This is a rare. It is Generation Break 1 Oracle OTT stand trigger. So Generation Break 1 Oracle, retire this unit. If you have a Vanguard with the Oracle ability, choose one of your rear guards, and until the end of the turn, it gets auto rear guard when this unit attacks. Until the end of that battle, your opponent cannot call grade 0 cards from hand to GC. That is tasty. Let me know what you think, Keith.
I would also agree that is quite tasty. I mean, just giving Tom effects to stuff is, I heard, pretty good at some level of the game. It's a little bit weaker, obviously, as a result of G-Guards and everything else and whatnot. The one thing, if they can get some good power gainers on the rear guard, this thing could actually prove to be really good. Right now, I think it's a solid addition, but it definitely needs a little bit more, I think.
To me, the only thing that hurts this card is that it's a stand, which sucks. Which is not because, like, stands aren't good anymore. Stands are clearly fine now in today's Vanguard world. But, like, OTT was the crit clan. Like, it was the, like, at least when I remember seeing it, it was always, like, stacked on the crits. One, because they had a lot of good crits. I mean, they had the crit that, like, put it in the soul draw card, which was a fun crit, I think, back in the day. That's just my opinion. Nate, what do you think about this stand trigger?
I mean, you kind of hit on it. What's bad about it? It's a stand. It's not a crit. You don't have anything that I can think of that powers up the rear guard more than, 2K? Doesn't the Susanoo Stride power it up 2 or 3K?
I think so. I think you're right.
Arbitrary and useless. And it can't pick the Vanguard, which would have been really, really nice. But, oh well, OTT. You can't have nice things.
As we continue down this spoiler list, I think we're going to slowly realize that OTT is slowly not getting what we wanted them to get, or I guess not getting what the fans really wanted them to get, because they wanted the return. They wanted the return of the OTT in this set, and I don't think this set is going to give them
Weep womp.
that beautiful, radiant return that they so desired.
It's Trinity Dragon. Are we really surprised about this? It's the Ginyu Force of the Vanguard world. Are we really surprised they're not getting good things?
Hitting them with that Ginyu pose. I've been playing a lot of Xenoverse 2 here recently, so
you know
a lot of stuff has been happening in my life. So next spoiler of the day, or next spoiler of spoiler reel, is Operator Girl Linkle. I love this card before we get started, but card is spicy. So card is Burst, Act, Rear Guard, Generation Break 2. Put this unit into the soul. If your Vanguard's power is 20k or higher, draw a card. If your Vanguard's power is 35k or greater, choose one of your Vanguards with a burst ability, and until the end of the turn, it gets auto Vanguard Soul Blast 1. When your drive check reveals a grade 3 card, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a unit with the Sentinel ability on your opponent's GC, and that unit's effect with cannot be hit is nullified. Spicy, man. I like it.
Oh, nice.
The problem is that, like, they already have, like, 2 pretty decent stands that you already use in the deck. At least I'm thinking Cosmic Heroes, which, are the main that you're going to see bursts from anyways. So, like, Cosmic Hero wise, like, there's only like one burst stride. Nate made that very apparent to me, and that is name? The Excalibur. So I like this card. I really do. I think it's going to see play because why the heck not? You're already running stands in the deck anyways. Nate, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's cool. I definitely think this will encourage like a 6 or 8 stand variant. It's going to be more than 4 stands because you're already getting really big rear guards anyways. Here's the thing. I don't know if this is good enough for people to abuse it the way they try to abuse Daikaiser.
Oh, no.
What, Jose? Because, like you, Jose, don't you only run 7 grade 3s in your deck anyways?
Yeah, in Cosmic Heroes, I do, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean,
you run 7, so there will only be 6 in the deck, max. So I think at most this is like a cool 1 or 2 of, probably a 2 of, no more than 3, that you can just kind of, hey, why the heck not?
Especially if you know he's got, I mean, at the worst, this card is going to give you a draw. And at best, this thing is going to break a dude's PG. So it's like, at worst, you're drawing a card, and at best, you're breaking a dude's guard. Like, there's really no downside. Keith, what do you have to say?
Same thing as yourself. I mean, I think what's our good friend Cross Gallop is like, I'm a little bit relevant again. I can come back. It's my time to shine. So, I think that's really nice for it. I think, is he the only burst stride right now?
As of now, but I do think that that we're going to see more burst strides, obviously, in the future. Probably the Laurel stride will be burst, if it's a stride, and then the card we're going to talk about later that we got the art revealed for will probably also be a burst, in my opinion. So that's a few. So I do think that the card will be a little more relevant in a lot of decks, but I don't think it'll be more than a 2 or 3 of if you're running it at all. So
oh no, just watch out for the meme dream where you have Laurel on the field with Cross Gallop and you use this thing and break through and just go nuts on the opponent.
My pride. So moving on. Okay, so here's some interesting stuff that I thought was very interesting. So, we're going to get a new Lukier that's the old Lukier. So it's the old Lukier. It's like, I think Phantom Blaster Dragon, or Maelstrom, the new Maelstrom reprint, Draconic Overlord Break Ride reprint from the old days. Any other of these that anybody comes to mind? They got like a new skill, and it's like one of the old ones?
I think you got most of them. Did you say Maelstrom?
Yeah, I said Maelstrom.
Ah, okay.
So this is the BT7 Lukier, but with a new skill. So the first skill is from the Soul. Limit Break 4, Soul Blast another Silverthorn in order to call this from the Soul, and then it gets +3, and then it goes back to the Soul at the end of turn. And then its other skill is when a Silverthorn strides, the Vanguard gains the skill when a stride is called, when a Silverthorn is strode on top of this, the Vanguard gains the skill that when a Silverthorn is called from the Soul, it gains +3k. That's spicy. I like the card. I think it's a pretty good, decent one. I really have no problems with it, to be honest. Maybe this will finally make the BT7 Lukier drop in price. Probably unlikely, but it could happen. Maybe people will abandon the old Lukier dream, and we'll see new Lukier stuff. What do you think, Nate? You got any opinions?
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, they're going to need to see one. I mean, maybe 2 more strides with Silverthorn in its card name, but
I agree with that.
You know, they've got the 1 and it calls 2, so it's fine. It's going to be good. I'm actually really happy about this when I saw this because I don't know if we'll talk about it tonight, but one of my predictions for the Revival Collection was that Venus Lukier would get a reprint, and I think this helps my case. So yeah.
Oh, that's garb. I think this with Venus Lukier would be some hot stuff too. I mean, I definitely think because we definitely saw. Okay, so when Maelstrom got a reprint here in this most recent set, Stride, because technically Maelstrom already had a Stride. It was garbage. It got a new Stride. The new Stride was also pretty bad. So, but the first Silverthorn Stride, actually, what the Luciero Stride was not that bad. I mean, it was really just weighed down by the fact that it had to be played in the Silverthorn deck, which at the time was pretty hot garb. And with this new card, and then possibly with a new Stride, who knows? Keith?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know, it's definitely up there. And what's his face? Mystique Lucier has already been bought out. Thank you, secondary market. So, yeah, I mean, I have...
As everyone knows in our team description, Keith is our resident Pale Moon player.
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Okay, I think I updated that. I might not have. Okay, in all fairness, that was a really long time ago when you talked about building Magia for no reason. I was just like, yeah, Keith, Pale Moon, go for it.
I mean, I do have Magia built.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I guess.
But aside from that, I do like it a lot. So I'm gonna stick with that. I do like this card a lot. I think this is actually a brilliant design for a reprint of an old card. If that makes any sense.
Mm.
So we also got a Grade 2 Grand Blue unit that when it's retired by Hollow, you return to the bottom of the deck, countercharge 1, and then on attack it gains 2k for every unit in the hollowed state. And then it needs a Night Rose VG. So both skills need a Night Rose VG. So I like it. I think. What do you think, Keith? You play Grand Blue more than me, so.
I mean, it's another case of just like this is a good card for Grand Blue that is not going to make the cut again, just because there's already so many great choices in like Cannoneer and Nigoruk and Nigor Lazy. So it's good, but I don't think it's going to fit right now.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So, moving on to one of the most beautiful things in the world, Battle Sister Madeline. It's a Battle Sister time, everybody! Mm-hmm. Battle Sister. So this is a double R from the set. Generation Break 2, Counterblast 1, a special Counterblast. It has been a while since I've seen a special Counterblast. It's got to be a Battle Sister in the damage zone that you Counterblast. At the end of your opponent's turn, if the number of your units with Battle Sister in its card name is 3 or more, and the cards in your hand are 3 or less, you may pay the cost if you do draw a card. So that's like, wow. It's like Generation Break 2, Counterblast 1, you got to get 3 or more. You got to have 3 or less. It's like math boys. Like, do all the necessary math. Like, I imagine like somebody playing Battle Sisters and they have that like all the math around their brain, like from that movie made over. Like, do I have 3 or more? Do I have 3 or less? Is at the end of my book.
And then at the very end of all of that, you get to pick up that one card and be like, "Yay! It was worth it, but not really."
The second skill is Auto Vanguard. During your turn, when your G unit with Battle Sister in its original card name Stride, choose one of your Vanguards. At the end of the turn, it gets Auto Vanguard Soul Blast 1. At the end of the battle, your rear guard with Battle Sister in its card name attack the Vanguard. If the attack did not hit, you may pay the cost. If you do, countercharge 1. Meh. It's okay. It's actually not okay. It's Battle Sisters. I'm not gonna. I played Battle Sisters. You can ask Nate. I played them. They're not good. Their best. I mean, when they had the that Grade 3, the Persona one, I forget its name. Oh, why is its name? It was like the blue one. It was actually really good. That was probably the best card they ever got, and it still wasn't enough.
Which doesn't really say a whole lot.
Exactly. So They also got a Forerunner that's like counterblast 1, put it into the soul, check the top 3. If all those cards have Battle Sister in its card name, choose a card other than Battle Sister Compat, which is the card that this is, the starter. And then among them, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Okay. Got to be running all, but okay for that. Continuing on, we have a squirrel. All right.
Don't talk about the squirrel. That's
All right, we're not going to talk about the squirrel. Okay, I just want to talk about his name, though. His name is Full Sack Squirrel. Moving on. His name is Full Sack Squirrel, and the other card is Magnifier Chow Chow. Moving on, everybody. Now that we're done with that.
Yeah,
so
nicely done.
So let's talk about Rough Deity Spirit Sword Susano, Grade 3. So this is the new Grade 3 Susano. It's a triple R from the character booster, as we imagined. Skill Generation Break 2 Oracle. At the beginning of the ride phase, look at the top card of your deck, put it on the top or bottom of your deck. I really wish this was the beginning of the draw phase, because that would be so nice. That'd be so nice. But instead, it's the beginning of the ride phase, which is kind of meh, in my opinion. And then the other skill is Auto Vanguard. At the beginning of your ride phase, if you have a face-up card with a Matarasu or Wakahirume, no, I totally mispronounced that, but you got to give me some slack for that. In its card name in your G zone, you may Soul Charge 1. And then its third skill, yep, we got 3. Soul Blast 2 during your turn. When your G unit strides, you may pay the cost if you do draw a card. So really, the last skill is what makes the first skill even worth doing. The top one and say like, oh, that's a PG. Keep it on the top. Stride to draw that card. That's pretty much its best benefit.
Meh.
I mean, I agree. This card is lackluster, to say the least.
You might.
Oh, go ahead, Keith.
What?
Go ahead.
Okay. I said that you might be able to break into tier 2.5 now with this card. So I think that's about all I got to say about that card.
Okay, so if Ryan were here, he would help defend me on this. I think we both really like this card. I think it's just clever. I like cards that have GB2 skills that I can actually use. Because, Jose, how often do you use Outmouse GB2?
When I'm about to die?
Yeah, there you go. I like this one, the Battle Sister, though I think the Battle Sister is a bad card, I like that you can use the GB2. I like that Gurgwit, you can use the GB2. I like those cards. So I like this. And, you know, it doesn't use a CB, which is great because, you know, OTT is kind of expensive there. And I don't know. I think it's clever. It lets you draw. It lets you somewhat control your draw. And it uses resources that you're not going to be using anything else for. So there's my piece.
The card's not hot garb. I'm not saying it is. The card is... Here's the thing. If there's a certain level of criteria I expect from skills that you can activate outside of, you know, when it is your Vanguard. Make a point in case the Grade 3 Shadow Paladin lets you stride for whatever you freaking feel like. And by that I mean the one that lets you... Yeah, Luard. The card's dumb. This card should have been that dumb. This card should have been like something similar. But Keith, you look like you're thinking, and you got a statement to say over there.
No, it's not. I do not think this guy. I mean, it's as you said. It's not hot garbage. It's like lukewarm garbage in terms of that. It could have been a lot worse, but it's like it does something that the clan does, but that wasn't really that good in the first place to keep up with today's meta. So
It's just, I mean, great. I like that it's controlling your draw, which is nice. But like, OTT needs some power, man. They need some oomph, and they just keep getting more draws. And it's like, that's great, but where's the punch?
I mean, but look at this huge hand I have. I had like 12 cards when I lost.
But in all fairness, that's all OTT has ever done. They draw and they guard restrict. They don't have restanders or retire or some cool multi-attack or power lines. They have one card that guard restricts, which now we're getting a second, yay, and they draw. So be happy that it does one of those two things.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I guess when I set my bar that low, it's kind of hard to not be disappointed, you know? Well, if all I wanted from OTT was to draw more cards, I'd just go back to playing old OTT. It does that still fine. I can play the old OTT deck and still draw a shit ton of cards and lose. So I'll cover the stride real quick. Blessing Speed Deity Amano Sagume? I don't know. G4 to R. Stride Oracle. Choose a face down card in your G zone, flip it face up. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, until the end of that battle, this unit gets auto Vanguard. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, draw 2 cards, choose a card from your hand, discard it, countercharge 1, soul charge.
Yay.
This card, until it said, if you hit.
Yeah.
Not letting this happen.
I mean, they now have 3 options for a first stride, and every one of them is on hit, draw a card. So enjoy that. Please, I invite you.
Right? No. OTT got Takamika Suchi. That's not an that one you get for freezies. Well, not for freezies. You got to pay a cost, but you get the thing.
That isn't their first stride. That's a GB2, yeah. Bro.
I thought you meant all the strides. I'm like, no, that's not true. But yeah,
no, their first stride. You got 3 options, and they're on hit. Enjoy.
Continuing our beautiful OTT. Actually, I'm not going to cover this common and this rare. They're both. I mean, I don't like them. They're both bad. So,
moving on.
Miss got a sister, and she's bad. Unlike Miss, which was actually decent in Legion meta. What is it? Astrologer Miss Hayes. It lets you draw a card when it's retired from Guardian Circle, and then if a card, when it's retired from a Guardian Circle, and if a card was not put into your damage zone.
No.
During
no.
So, it's not that good, and that's pretty much all the spoilers of the day or of the week. Aside from, for me, the most exciting card was probably still that DP stride. That Dimensional Police stride was hot stuff. I was like, tasty. The rest of it, I was kind of indifferent to be honest. I read the Susanoo. I thought like, oh, this is interesting. Too bad like it isn't what I wanted from them. Any particular highlights that you guys enjoyed from the week?
Lukier. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
I agree with Nate on that one.
Yeah, that's true. So
let's not get crazy now. Cheap silver thorns. Okay.
So covering some news of the day. Really, the only news I really want to cover, and then I'm going to let Keith go on his rant because we're going to get there. BT10 sleeves were revealed, which means we have the names of the new cards that are in GBT10. So we've got Drag Wizard of Black Flames Ogma. You can guess what clan he belongs to. Great Emperor Dragon Gaia Dynast. He's a Tachikaze. And then Heavenly Path Sacred Sword Gurguit. Once again, I think you know what clan that belongs to. 3 Realms Rogue Deity Yasugoma, which is the Murakumo boss of the set. And my boy Nate's favorite champ, Victor.
Yeah.
A very simple name for a very simple card. And that's the sleeves, and we got the arts for those cards. They all look very cool. I really like the champ one, and I like the drag wizard one from an art perspective. We don't have anything in terms of skill yet, but that should be coming soon, without a doubt. So be looking out for that, because it will be very interesting to see what happens there. In other words, in other news, before one more thing, on the D-Police train, real quick, there was the art released for the Dimensional Robo card. Oh, man. And we got the name, and it got me so hyped, because the name for this Dimensional Robo card is Dimensional Robo Commander Admiral. By the way, how can you be a commander and an admiral? His name is Dimensional Robo Commander Admiral Final Dimax. His name is Final Dimax. And the art looks good. I showed it to Keith, and Keith was like, ooh.
Yeah, I love the art of this card and the name of this card. Everything about this is just amazing. Just everything about it so far.
I just hope that he, just says, your opponent can't guard. No questions asked. Just it's my power.
Stop playing the game. Stop playing the game. I don't want to see you do anything anymore.
I'm sorry. Did you know that I am a Commander Admiral? Do you not understand my rank?
Yeah, I put my boat on the land, and I killed you all.
So, aside from that, on to good old TCG news. So, as of you guys who probably were involved in the sneak peek this last weekend, and are probably getting, some of you I know are probably getting your, I know we have a friend, Brandon, who was lucky enough from a store to get, or his store, I mean his connection. I don't know. Don't want to talk about it. He got his stuff 2 days early. Congratulations to him. I'm glad you get your case early. But for those of you, I probably noticed that your reprints are lacking a certain luster. Literally. So I'm going to hand this over to Keith. Keith, what are your thoughts on Bushiroad's handling of this whole process?
Okay, so I'm going to turn this back a couple steps, Jose, if that's all right with you.
Take your time.
And the first, we knew we were going to get triple R reprints when Set 9 dropped for Japan. I think that came out fairly early in the news, that was going to be a thing. And I was like, oh yeah, that's super cool. You're going to see reprints of the old cards. It's going to be more available. It's going to drive down the hyped up prices that are going to happen. And I don't know about you guys for the other reprints, but when I saw that Descendant, I just all my clothes just disappeared. I was just like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And this, I was the hypest to get this card and get alternate Descendant arts. And then, of course, we come for the English TCG. And sure enough, everyone finds out that, oh, this nice triple R foiling. Oh, wait, that's not a triple R foiling. That's a fucking R foiling, is what it is. Wait a second. That's not right. And then, sure enough, a little bit later on, Bushiroad releases this little comment that said, the reissued cards will be released as R foiled instead of RRR foiled for GPT-09. There is an error in the specifications previously announced. We apologize for this error and any confusion caused. Fuck that shit. So much. I was so pissed because that is just straight up false advertising. And that sucks ass. I'm so pissed off, so unbelievably pissed off that I missed out. I mean, okay, it's still nice that we got reprints. That's cool. But that's just straight up lying to us. We were promised triple R's. We got fucking R's.
Yeah. Let's clear the air first things first. Me, Keith, and I'm sure Nate are all perfectly fine with them making the reprints, obviously. I mean, yeah. Honestly, I could care less. I don't want any of these cards. But the reprints are fine. It brings the value down of cards. Totally okay. No problem at all from that perspective. The issue here isn't that it got reprinted. The issue here isn't that it's alt art. The issue here isn't that it came out in a lower rarity than announced. Or no, the issue here is that it came out in a lower rarity than announced. Because you just got lied to. And it's just like, that. I got kind of stinted. Like, one, these alt arts are fine, but the thing is, like, why bother making alt arts if you're not going to foil them to begin with? At that point, like, it's better to just get, because, like, it's granted, it still is the same skill, it's obviously the same card, and it reduces the price. Yes, that's perfectly okay, that's perfectly fine. But the point here is that we said something, but they lied to us, which is the issue here. And they waited to 1 week before the set. They had all the time in the world to tell us. Like, oh, by the way, we made a mistake, here's the actual thing. But no, until, like, people are, like, probably complaining to them and be like, hey, where's my Triple R Descendant? And they're like, oh, they don't exist. Sorry. Might be.
Yeah.
After people have probably booked their case orders and their set orders and everything else, they probably ordered all the set, and then they're like, whoops. Nate, you got any words here?
I mean, yeah, that's a big part of it, but part of the issue is you've already got people that have paid their money for the sneaks, and they've opened the packs and got the product. Like, I could maybe understand a week out. I could maybe, if it were a nice store, I could maybe cancel my order. Maybe. But those people, they've already paid for it. They've opened the packs. There's no refunding that. You have screwed them over. Done. Whoops. You got their money. Sorry? Like, really? Really? Okay. Okay, whatever. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. Like, imagine if you went to, like, I get it, like, from any other perspective, but the thing is, like, were you at those sneak peeks and before that announcement was made? Because that announcement was made after sneak peeks. Like, if Keith had gone to a sneak peek, which I don't think he did. No, he's with me. If he had gone to a sneak peek and expected, the Descendant to be Triple R, which is the whole reason, like, one of the reasons he's even buying this set to begin with, and then pulls this freaking R-foiling alt art Descendant, he's got a right to be mad because it's not what he was promised. That's where the anger comes in. That's the anger. Clearly, this is going to help people get the cards for cheaper because, yes, they're the same card, but they're not going to be as hard to mine from a collector's perspective because, yeah, they're alt arts, but they're not shiny, so who cares? Like, I don't collect all the alt arts of Alfred. Like the alt art, one, because his face looks stupid in the alt art of Alfred. But, like, I might have gotten it if it was foil, but it's not. It's not even a rare, it's a common. So it's like it's not an issue unless you're the guy stinted. And we weren't stinted, but, like, you got to put yourself in other people's shoes. Like, it kind of sucks for them, They already made the purchases. And, like, who knows if some people were able to take down the big bulk orders that they made. Now, granted, if you're making bulk orders to get a bunch of, like, Raging Form Dragons and stuff like that, like, maybe you should sit down and rethink your life decisions. But exactly. It's just, that's just the way it is. So...
Yeah. It sets the precedent now that you can literally just, like, you can promise whatever the hell you want and just, not follow up with it. You'd be like, oh yeah, this set's going to have 14 secret G-rares. And they're like, oh, sorry, it was actually 14 commons. My bad, guys. I forgot. Oops-a-daisies. I think something got wrong in the printing. Oh well. Ugh.
Hold on. To answer the specific question, CBXDS Gamer, you asked, so did they ever say it was going to be Triple R in English, or we just assumed from Japan? No. The actual box for the set and the packs on the back actually specify that the reprints are going to be in Triple R.
And the posters.
The posters, the set packaging, and the set says that on the back, in English, obviously, that it was going to be in Triple R. So while you can argue that, yes, if we had made an assumption that we were promised nothing, except the packaging says this, therefore we were promised it.
Yeah, they literally advertised it that way to us.
But Keith, I was going to say your impression was very good, but you messed up just once.
What is that?
You said, "I'm sorry, it's my mistake." No, you should have said, "I'm sorry that you were confused about that." I did not make the mistake. You were confused about that, and I apologize for your confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Silly me, Nate. Silly me. Oh.
Yeah, here's the thing. A website can fix those changes. So if you go to the website, obviously they're going to reflect the changes. You can do that in 5 minutes. But the packaging were printed weeks in advance and stuff like that. The packaging says that it was supposed to be in Triple R, which it was supposed to be, I think. Honestly, they had every full intention to make them Triple Rs. Then they realized they could cut the cost to not make them Triple Rs. And they're like, people didn't get mad when we did the same thing for...
Next Stage, Olivia.
Next Stage and Olivia, so we'll just do it here. Except these were altards. People actually care about altards.
Well, we were actually, if you remember... Well, I was going to say, Jose, that if you remember back in the days, well, we were promised an altard Amnesty Messiah.
Oh.
In like the very, very beginning. They promised us that. We didn't get that either. We were also told that those things were going to be ours. We were told Olivia, Amnesty, and what's his face? Next Stage were all going to be ours. Go fuck, Bushy Road. Go fuck.
So, and like I said, we could talk back and forth about why this matters. It matters because people want something, and people are driven to buy packs based on what they like. Now, you can say you don't like our reprints. Sure, that's fine. I respect that opinion. You just want the card and the skill. But someone like Keith or someone like myself, if I'm promised a Triple R reprint, I want the Triple R reprint. That's why I wanted it. I didn't just want it because it was an altard. I wanted it because it was a shiny altard. Because my friend Braxton, he already has 4 Descendants. Keith already has 4 Descendants. Like, we have this stuff. The only reason, like, I would have been ever interested in buying the pack is to pull the Triple R altar and then flip it. Or to keep it and sell it to Keith and be like, yo, Keith, give me money. Here's this Triple R you want. But now when I pull this R, he's going to be like, I don't want it anymore. And, yeah, it takes its value, which is good for players, and I respect that as an opinion. But the point is, then why not just tell me it was going to be an R in the first place?
See, you're getting way too... For me, anyways, you're getting way too much into the game aspect of it. At the end of the day, I'm just upset about it because Bushy Road USA, you broke the law. Like, I'm sorry, the FTC says you cannot do what you just did. Like, whether it's good for the game, bad for the game, good for us, bad for us, whatever, I don't really care. You broke the law. So... But, you know, whatever. You just took our money. Yeah, it's whatever. We don't care. Yeah.
Well, you didn't take my money.
Nah.
It'd be like, oh yeah.
Community.
It'd be like if I came up to you, Jose, and was just like, you know, I'm going to advertise and show you I have this nice and clean beef tortilla to give you. It's like, enjoy. And then you bite into it, and you're just like, oh, wait, this isn't a beef tortilla. There's actually a turd inside instead of beef.
That was the perfect thing to enter on.
I knew. Perfect.
Griffin has summoned.
Can you give me an intro, Jose?
For Places Unknown, a.k.a. The Filming Room, we present to you the Doombringer, the Allbringers, the Great Bringer, Ryan Griffin.
I was doing some business. I apologize.
Right now we're talking about just... the
all I
art
heard
debacle.
was the art debacle. Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm guessing all the low-hanging fruit has already been eaten. And so reaching way up high, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Like, what did you want? I'm guessing we're talking about VMAX here because that was some hot ass. And that was all. Like, you might, if you
That's actually not what we're talking Really? Came out at all.
Oh, because I really wanted to say, like, Bushiroad might as well have just, like, put a lightning bolt in crayon across the card, and it would have been better. That's all I had to say about that.
Oh, beautiful.
I meant, what I meant was the R triple R debacle. There we go.
Oh, all right. Did Keith already have his rant time? Because now it's my rant time. How are you gonna? All right, Bushiroad. Level with me here. I'm hit you with the Sky Williams real quick. Your entire rarity system is based on these stupid R's that you seem to like to repeat for some reason, even though there were plenty of other descriptive words other than just another R drawn in crayon at the bottom of your card. I really think Bushiroad likes crayons. That's just a thing I'm going with now. But how did you just happen to leave 2 of those off? That's a pretty important distinction. It's printed on your box that it was supposed to be triple R distinction. And there's a, oops, I accidentally put the wrong foiling on. I am so sorry. Oops. Oh, and wait, I didn't change the rarity distribution either because I'm not that smart. So you also sometimes just get a poopy rare. It's just another poopy rare. No GR for you, no SP for you, no SP pack, no nothing. You get poopy raging form. Nate, how does it make you feel?
I'm sad. I'm very sad.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So we've been talking about this topic for a little while, and we can talk about it for a while, but I think we have to move on to the actual topic of damage check. That was just news. So onto the actual topic. What did you actually title this one? The Paladin what? The Paladin Spike? The Paladins have landed? I don't know.
Something about the new Paladin price tag.
I know what the topic is. I just want to know what the
tagline
was.
Wait. This is the time for Ryan's apology. Yeah. I'm sorry that I was like 2,000% wrong on Morfessa's price. Keith, can you calc that for me on exactly how wrong I was? No, I'm sorry. I think it was 300%. I was 300% wrong.
Yeah, about 300%.
Oh, God.
500%.
I'm sorry, I was blinded by Sheedon and delayed laser dragon.
Nah, you're 8-2 triple R's? Forget about that.
They're historically bad except like Binoculus Tiger, and I'm like, there's no way it'll be that bad.
No, here's the thing. You gotta... We called it wrong. And like that's happens all the time. Like spec is spec. So like speculations you can be wrong. But we were somewhat right with, obviously, Luar. I mean, here's the general consensus. One, Spike Bros got the shaft, which we are correct. I saw Juggernaut maximum for $1 today. Enjoy.
Morfessa's just stealing everybody else's dollars.
So now, granted, a lot of people are saying right now, like, these higher prices, though, are pre-release prices, pre-order prices. They will go down, I promise you.
I would not say that for the PG.
Well,
that's just my 2 cents.
Some cards will either stay there. Some cards will go up, and those are the only 3 directions they can go.
Good job.
The thing is, so on the TCG side, what we're seeing is shadows are becoming expensive, but that's honestly no surprise. But like this is actually like it's dwarfing every other clan in the set by like multiples.
It's almost like they're the most popular clan Bushiroad's ever made. Oh no.
Keith, what are your thoughts on shadows just being ridiculous expensive going into it?
Going into it, it doesn't surprise me at all because that's just straight hype, leading all those prices all the way up that they are. It's got to settle is the thing. Like, I mean, we were talking about it earlier. Sustainable to have multiple $30 triple Rs. You'll just opening value, just open packs. It's just like there's money and there's money over here and more money. And so it can't sustain that level. I don't think it can, at least. It might for a little while, but it's got to go down.
Well, supply and demand, eventually someone's going to be like, if it's this expensive, I'll just buy like 3 cases, sell it all, and make my money back, hopefully. And then like by that point, he'll realize it's not happening, and then the supply will just tank the price, and we'll be fine. And like you'll be able to buy your zillions for like pennies on the dollar because they're gonna be sitting on these stack of zillions that like nobody really wants, and we're like, oh, can I get a zillion, please?
Hang on, guys. I'm about to do a fat rail of hype off my wallet. Oh,
$40. Nate, what are your thoughts on the hype right now? I know you personally have not picked up the Shadow Paladin stuff in pre-order because, well, it's like $350 for everything you need.
It's $500.
Oh,
Don't kid yourself. It's $500.
It's pretty crazy, man.
If you have everything you need except for what's in the set, what's in the trial deck, and all you need are the Raging Form Strides, the Raging Form Commons, and everything for the Luard deck, it's over $500. And that's ridiculous. Ridiculous!
Ridiculous. But that's kind of funny though. Like I just think it's funny because it's like your Chronicle used to be the most expensive deck. It's like I'm the most expensive deck in the world, and Shadow just go hold my beer. Let me just drop this set real quick. Boom! I've reclaimed the throne of expensive.
So in general, I think Raging Form stays where he's at. He might go down. He's at 12. I really don't see him getting any lower than 8. So 8, 12. So he stays there. Honestly, Luard, I don't see the stride going down all that much. Like maybe it'll hit 25, but at no point will it ever go under 20. Just for a couple of reasons. One, it's hype now, so cool. But we know they have support coming in GBT010. GBT010. No, just GBT10. So you're going to need it there. So we're going to be getting new spoilers that are going to kind of hype people up, keep the price up. And two, it's a really versatile card. It has the exact same versatility that I give to Aura Geyser in that any Shadow deck can run him. And honestly, in a lot of Shadow decks, I think he might be preferable to Aura Geyser as a first or second stride. Like, in Shadow Witches, you probably might want to go Luard as your first or second stride just to build a board because Shadow Witches can't do that. In Raging Form, you might consider doing Luard your first stride instead of Aura Geyser because you might want to draw out all those key grade 1s that are searching out your Raging Forms if you couldn't go into Wrath Dragon. So he's really versatile. He's only going to get more support. I really don't think people are going to open enough boxes to drive his price down all that much. So that's that. I think Morfessa settles 15 to 20. I don't see him. I see him obviously going down, but I really don't see him dropping a whole lot more than that just because he's a 4-of you're going to need going forward, and there's no reason to think he's going to be reprinted, so deal with it. I'm sorry. But he's only good in Luard, so take that for what you will. The PG...
Revival Collection 5.
Maybe.
Luard reprint. Calling it now.
The PG, honestly, I could see it going up. Because here's how I'm thinking about it. The PG, to me, is at the level of or better than the countercharge PG. You can use it in every Shadow deck except maybe Revengers. And the Shadow PG is at its lowest point ever, and it's at $16. So I think, you talk to people like me and Braxton who are like die-hard Shadow players. We play Diablos. We've had all the Shadow decks. But we did not have unflipped PGs because we could not, because they were either sold out or they were going for 20 plus. So I think you have a lot of old Shadow players that even if they're not looking to upgrade to Luard, they're still looking to pick up an effect PG that isn't Nemain or isn't vanilla. So
exactly. Never forget it.
So I don't see it going down at all because it's a really good PG and your best alternative is $15, $16. So, and as far as Plot Maker, yeah, he could maybe drop to 3 or 4, but I don't see why he would because unlike Royals who have an alternative second G-Guard, Shadows really don't. That Ludwig He's awful. No one's running him. We're running Dismal and Screw You over Ludwig. So if you have any Shadow deck, you're running 2 to 4 plot makers. So really, I don't see him going down a whole lot. So where's the drop gonna be? The biggest drop I see is Morfessa, and even then, he only drops $10, maybe. Now, what that does to the whole who buys boxes, I don't really know. I'm just saying, as a Shadow player, seeing a lot of old players getting back, and a lot of new Shadow players getting involved because we're essentially playing Dark Magicians now, there's a whole lot of hype, and there's a whole lot of demand. So, there's that. That was a mouthful. I apologize.
So now, moving across the ocean to our boys in Singaland and beyond, they're featuring. They are seeing a much different Paladin spike over there, and what they are going to spike up in is the Brave. For some reason, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm looking into it. I'm trying to find what build or where in the world this deck is topping. But Brave cards are skyrocketing in price. Royal Paladin cards, but specifically, like, Solomon has, like, skyrocketed in price. Hopekeeper jumped in price. Aerial Divine Knight Atmile has, like, quadrupled in price over there. But, like, granted, he was already, like, a pretty high price here, but, like, he is, like, really gone up there. Fidus or whatever has also, like, really, really skyrocketed in price there as well. And it's, like, it is absurd just, like, to see this, like, spike Brave card. I mean, this Royal Brave spike happen. And it's like, hello? I'm just pretty surprised. What are your thoughts, Ryan?
Jose, I can only be wrong so much in one day. Don't put Brave on me too! Come on! I've spent the last season and a half saying, Brave sucks. Oh my god, why would you play this deck? Oh my god, Jose, don't build this deck. Don't make me get these cards for you. Why do I gotta be wrong again? No justice.
And the only thing I've seen is I did see one weird Brave deck that came over my news feed from, like I said, Single Land, and it has all the Single Land properties that you expect to see in a Single Land deck. 5 grade 3s.
That's the most Nippon gene.
5 grade 3s. Only running 3 Aerial Divine Knight Outmiles. Running 4 Fides. Running like as many 1 of 2 of grade 2s as humanly possible. Man's running Beanon, Solomon, like a bunch of the Brave dudes. I was like, this is just the techiest tech Brave ever. I think he's running Legit Sword now that it's out there over there. They do have the new set, correct? I'm right there, right?
Yeah, they have this. It's out.
Yeah. I think something over there has just, like, really clicked, and we just haven't seen it, or I'm not seeing it yet with Brave and the new set. But that's crazy, man. I'm astonished. Keith, any thoughts on the Brave spike?
So I'm pretty convinced, and this is a theory now, so if you guys bear with me for a second, is that everyone over in Singapore was just like, guy in Team Absolution, and he really likes Brave. And so what we're going to do is we're going to buy it all out and just troll the shit out of him that Brave is good. So he goes on damage check. And it's just like, oh my god, Brave is amazing. So that is my theory.
No.
Stay woke,
Here's the thing.
everyone.
I will say this here and now still today. This deck could top every deck in the world, every tournament in the world. I will still say Brave is a bad mechanic, but the deck is good. Very different statements. If the deck is good, that does not justify the mechanic. The mechanic is still hot ass. Nate, any thoughts?
If I were to speculate, I would not attribute this to Brave being good. I would attribute it to you now have cards that let you be brave without actually having to be brave. You have brave enablers. You basically said, I don't want to do this, but I need to run the card. Here.
They took whiskey and they put it into a card, and then they printed that card.
Liquid courage.
Yeah, I think brave cards are good if they weren't brave. And now they have a way to make them not.
So it's just interesting. I'm excited to see how that pans out. I'm definitely right here and now. I'll tell you guys, I'm building Alfred. Good, bad, mediocre. I'm building the deck. Don't care anymore. I need it in my life. And then I'll probably build Brave as well, and then have because a lot of that stuff is supposed to be getting reprinted, like the PG for Royals, which has been extremely hard to get, even over here, just because everyone uses it. We only have like one playset, maybe two, and I wouldn't mind having more of it. And especially if Bushiroad Bushis us again and gives me them as rares, that'd be beautiful. I'd be okay with that. So long as I know going in that they're rares, I'll be fine with it. So I think that's pretty much it for damage check. But as always, let's do some Ask Absolutions. But I'm only going to do about 10 minutes worth. So shoot us those questions, and I'll probably throw most of them to Ryan because he hasn't spoke at all in this damage check.
Woo! I mean, we almost got rid of Royal Paladins. Japan's like, what? It's quiet. Too quiet. Quick, throw him a curveball. Brave! Push it!
Oh, card of the day is up.
That has been the English meta since BT16. We almost got rid of Royal Paladins, but nope.
And not a question, but just a comment. Hate to say this, but we'll see. But will we see a deck profile for Brave by Ryan when the Tri-3 booster comes out? Sorry, Ryan had to say it. Is it my responsibility just to go through all the decks I hate so much and say, I don't know why this is good, but apparently you should play this garbage?
No, I'll probably definitely do that one, to be honest, because I play Royals mostly. Or I'll make Braxton do it, maybe. And Brax won't even know why he's doing it. He'll probably just be like, why? I'm like, I don't know either, but we're here now. This is life now. I'm trying to find the card of the day, but apparently it's up.
All right, you want me to read them?
I think it's a D-Police.
One of them is an Enigma in grade 3, 11K.
Oh, no.
At least it's 11.
Yeah, it's burst GB1 when placed on rear guard. If your Vanguard's power is 15K, it gains 4K. If your Vanguard is 20K, your Vanguard this turn gains CB1 at the start of the attack step, pay cost. If you do during this turn, this unit gains 4K.
Ooh.
Sounds like a lot of 4Ks. Not terrible. It's okay.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Ask Absolution. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, do you want me to go for the other one?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, the other one is the grade 1 6K, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Rearguard Soul Blast 2. When your Vanguard is attacking or being attacked, pay the cost. If you do select an opponent's unit in the same column, it gains minus 10K during this battle.
Very nice.
That's actually that's pretty
Yeah.
good. That seems pretty good.
I'm definitely a fan of that.
Yeah.
That was a decent mechanic to have, but it was just wasted on a bad archetype.
So, wait, Ryan, hashtag Ask Absolution. Can you guys talk about why the Searing Heart Asha Triple R in the Tri-3 Next Booster is $50 in Japan?
I was actually looking at that exact one, and clearly I can't hope to understand what the Japanese people are thinking when it comes to their trading cards, because really I have no idea. Did it suddenly break Neonectar? Hell if I know. Like, am I going to play that deck? No, I'm not. So, honestly, am I going to buy it? No. And I don't feel like Neonectar is as popular here. Or I don't know if people just like to collect it more. I really have no idea what's going on at all. Just please make the madness stop. I just want to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride.
So I'm gonna hit a few questions. So, have you guys tried out the new Final Fantasy TCG? I'm gonna assume that none of us have.
No.
I barely have time for one card game. Nevertheless, more than one.
Shout out to the old Kingdom Hearts card game. Turn up.
Rip. If OTT were to get an alternate win con that doesn't just need power and multiple attacks, what would it be? If they deck out, they win. There's their win con. Race to the finish.
That would be interesting.
You thought I was gonna lose, but then I won.
Hashtag Ask Absolution. Kagero is predicted to be in GBT 11. What do you think the next Overlord effect will be? Well, it better be an Overlord, by thunder. I mean, it'll probably be Blade Master support, like the Stride evolution, so that would be interesting. Love to see what that does. Although just blowing things up and getting the crit was enough for me in the first place, so I don't really know what more I need. That's the problem with Kagero right now, is all our strides are pretty good. There's not a whole lot of space to really expand on without just making an objectively better this or that. But we could probably use some more Overlord grade 3s. I mean, we have a Build-A-Stride. We have a Build-A-Stride on a dude that lets us search the top 5 cards for any race card we want, Flame Dragon. And you just shoot your G-Guard, then you have the best G-Guards in the whole wide world. So then, I don't know if this deck needs to be good anymore because it has a lot of stuff. Honestly, better grade 1s, I guess. Give me back Conroe. That's what I want. Conroe reprint. I don't care if you have to errata him. Just give me my Conroe. That's all I want. Next Overlord effect. Oh, here we go. Dragonic Overlord, the Conroe Lover, on ride, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, pull out 2 Lizard Soldier Conroes from outside of the game and place them on your board. That's exactly what I want. That's it. Oh, and also Build-A-Stride because I can. You know what? Because the Overlords are all ridiculous. Why not? Might as well ask for the
moon. Nate, hashtag Ask Absolution. Will there be more Fighters Classics in the future? P.S. He loves the streams. Nate, are there going to be more Fighters Classics in the future?
Yes. Let me pull up the event page because I've totally forgotten a lot of this info.
Being Centersville, Virginia, February 4th, I believe.
February. That doesn't sound. Yeah, it'll be at the Island Games in Centerville, Virginia. All the same rules. I think we haven't discussed changing any rules as far as I know. So $20 entry starts at noon. This time, I believe, with registration starting at 11. Yeah. Let me just confirm the date. 1 minute. It's somewhere on our Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page, by the way. Yes, February 4th. Thank you. Yeah.
Of course, no problem.
Hashtag Ask Absolution. What clan/deck would surprise you most to take first in a major tournament? Oracle Think Tank. Anything Oracle Think Tank is surprising me at this point.
Ripples. I would be shocked to see Ripples take another tourney.
The old throwback.
Like, what? Ripples? No, I want to see Cat Butler top. That would shock me. To see a man take Cat Butler all the way. What about you, Keith? Anything there?
I mean, I could say something stupid, like, I don't know, Ancient Dragons Harry Hybrid, or something, it's like, but something
immediately get DQ'd.
Yeah.
Not if you actually deck checked.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess just anything that's old Maelstrom. We're really surprised to do Maelstrom support. Someone takes that to the top. There we go.
Oh, man. Don't make me build that deck again. I just got rid of it.
Hashtag Ask Absolution. How many Vanguard arcs are you going to run, and how much do you think it'll be? Since you're getting 3 cards for the set, I'm assuming in my prediction list I have Sanctuary Guard arc as a triple R. So I think it's going to be one of the more expensive cards in the set. But I don't think it's going to be like hugely expensive. I don't think it's going to top out more than $20 per card. I don't think it's going to even get that high, so long as people buy this, because they're going to want the reprints. And so, and how many do I think it's going to run? I don't know, because I do like the on ride skill. I do like the on stride skill. So they both have their merits. If I run the typical 5 grade 3s that sometimes you run in this regular the usual Vanguard deck. I'll probably run 3 of the old, 2 of the new, or reverse that, 3 of the new, 2 of the old. I'll probably play test with both variations and make the final decision depending on how the playing out works. So, Keith, are you surprised that Grand Blue won the most recent Asia BWC Continentals despite the typical Great Nature or Gear Chronicle dominance?
The Great Nature dominance? Where have we been? I assumed, was that Seven Seas Rush? The one that won that?
I don't know. Nate?
I do not know. That would be a good guess.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it was the Seven Seas Rush, and if that's the case, that does not surprise me at all, because that has an amazing matchup against Gear Chronicle, since Gear Chronicle is all locked behind GB. And good old Grand Blue Seven Seas Rush kind of capitalizes on that fact when you're only on grade 1. So...
Oops.
Shout out to my boy Muhammad for asking that question 2 weeks in a row. We got you. Finally got to you, my man. You were determined. It paid off for you. We got you. Perseverance, man. It's a character trait. Said so on my first grade little sticker.
Nate. Hashtag X Absolution. I'm a Shadow Paladin player. My question is, boxes or singles of the new set, or wait till the price goes down?
I wish I knew, because I would answer that question myself. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. I personally do not think anything except Morfessa is really going to have a giant drop in price. So, you might want to consider picking up your PGs, your plot makers, maybe your drag drivers, your trial decks. Pick that up now and maybe wait for the Morfessa drop. But honestly, if you could afford it, I think a case of, like a full case, like a $700-800 case, is probably your best bet, because you're going to get all of that $500 value you need from Shadows, and then you're going to end up with, a couple of the SP packs, and, a couple of GRs that you can sell off, and you'll probably get back to your 700-800 mark, if not maybe a little up. So, case, or maybe wait for the Morfessa drop.
I share the same opinion. I don't think there's a reason to buy even less than half a case of this set, just because if you get unlucky, you're just going to end up in the absolute trash can. That's the only way to put it. There's no value outside of I pull straight Thavas or I open up Shadow stuff. The rest of it's just like, enjoy your miracle ace. Yes.
I opened 16 Maelstroms.
Oh
no! I'll give you $1.
Ask hashtag Ask Absolution. What deck will dethrone Gears? I don't know, but if I would take a guess, probably some form of Shadow Paladins or Royal Paladins the next 3 sets. That's the best guess I got. Some form of Shadows or Royals 3 sets from now might have a shot.
Always are. It could be Kagero. GBT11 Kagero dominance. My money is on them. The smart money's on me.
What about you, Keith? What do you think? What deck do you think is going to finally topple Gears?
What's his face? Seven Seas Rush is pretty good at toppling Gears. It's just it's not played in a significant capacity usually. So it's there. Yeah.
I said, I'm glad it's not played. And I don't want to play Seven Seas Rush every round.
I guess I'm not doing anything again this game.
So, oh man, I'm getting a lot of questions. What do you all think should go, Taro or Wiseman? Taro, because Taro's the one that should go. They'll probably get rid of Wiseman because he's the older card. To answer that question,
Taro's
going to want to keep.
What?
Go ahead.
No, all I was going to say is that Taro's pretty fair, asterisk, with the current support. It works pretty well with just the deck with the set 8 stuff. It's not bonkers as it is when you put Wiseman in the mix.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Wiseman's not really played in any other deck except for the Wiseman loop.
Yeah.
And Taro could be played in a lot of decks, therefore to keep the card alive, and since the card's more recent, Bushi would be more likely to hit Wiseman than Taro. But I think Taro is probably the more broken card in of itself, because Wiseman's existed for years and it's never done anything to anybody.
Hashtag Team Absolution. With the latest lies, do you think Bush's reputation have been tarnished? Will Vanguard be affected in terms of sales? You know damn well there's nothing we could possibly do with this company that would actually make it hurt. They don't care. They could tell this game to go to hell, and they would still have all the Vize money in the whole wide world. People still buy that game into oblivion just because it has pretty anime girls on it. Buddy Fight, yeah, they might as well just kill that too. Who plays Buddy Fight anyway? Come on, man. It's time to stop.
They also got that Luck and Logic grind, man. And
Yeah, that can go too.
And Ascendance of Atheros.
Ascendance of Atheros is okay. You're the baby we get to keep. We unthrow that baby.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna really be that affected, to be honest. So, it's just the way it goes. So I'm actually gonna call it in there, guys. Gonna cut off the questions. So, we want to thank you guys for joining in. Stay tuned again next week for Damage Check episode 68 live, and make sure to check out our Facebook page for more content and articles and things of that nature coming in the soon future. And that's us. This is Nate, Keith, and Ryan, and myself signing off. And we'll see you next time in Team Absolution. Peace.
Enjoy your $30 cards.
Oh no, guys. My cursor's not showing up. I can't go offline yet.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
No, everyone just sit here perfectly still and silent, and they'll go away. Do the Braxton